Hi, and welcome to the first webinar of a series of webinars conducted by TCS in lieu of the upcoming operational case study examinations happening in February 2023. My name is Nick, and I'm the lead tutor and evaluator for OCS at TCS. So let's try to figure out what the session outcomes look like. So first things first, I'm going to take you through the OCS exam. I'll be providing an overview into the operational case study examination. I hope most of you are doing your OCS exam for the first time. So it's of utmost importance that you understand the nitty-gritties pertaining to the exam, what to expect, what type of a structure is there, and how much marks you need to score and whatnot. All these technicalities will be looked into. And in the second part of today's webinar, which is the most important part, I'll be taking you through a study plan, because as you already know, from today up until your examination date, you have something like 6 weeks. So you need to be conversant with what you are supposed to do within these 6 weeks. I know for a fact that most of you are involved with um, part-time studies, because you have to balance your corporate uh, lives as well as your studies, or you might be doing your own business. So in all these contexts, you'd feel that you do not have enough time to prepare for the upcoming examination. But in order to make your life easier, we at TCS are providing a study plan. So if you stick to the study plan and if you fulfill all the requirements, then you'd find it extremely easy to fulfill or to complete everything when it comes to preparing for the exam. So that's in the second part of tonight's webinar. And before we get into the technicalities pertaining to the OCS exam, let me remind you about the 3 webinars which we are conducting in lieu of the February 2023 session. So the first webinar, which is happening today, in this, I'll be taking you through a 6-week study plan, as I highlighted earlier. And the second webinar is of utmost importance, which is happening on next Saturday, the 7th of January, at the same time. In this second webinar, I'll be highlighting answering technique, because as I highlighted earlier, this might be your first CIMA case study. So you need to be really thorough with what the examiner wants out of your answers, and what type of a quality the examiner expects and whatnot. And this is a time pressured exam, so most students run out of time when developing their answers. So if you run out of time, chances of you passing the exam is extremely low. So in such a context, you need to adhere to an answering technique. You need to practice this answering technique whenever you are attempting mock exams. So all these things pertain to how to develop high quality answers, how to structure your answers properly, how to plan your answers, and on top of that, how to manage your time appropriately. All these things will be covered in the second webinar. So that's an extremely important webinar which is happening next Saturday. And the third and the last webinar is about exam prep. So this is closer to your examination date. This is happening on Saturday, the 21st of January. So in here, I'll be taking you through examiner's comments. It's better to understand the psychology, or what the examiner expects out of you. And it's better to understand how the examiner allocates marks, so that you are in a position to gain the best amount of marks or the highest amount of marks. And on top of that, I'll be talking about what you need to do to develop confidence, both before the exam. And on top of that, I'll also be talking about how to maintain the same level of confidence at your real exam. Why? Because as per what is highlighted by the CIMA examiner, confident students end up passing the exam comfortably. So all these things will be covered in the third and final webinar. All right, so let's look into the nitty-gritties pertaining to the OCS exam. So there are two sets of students coming into the OCS exam. So there are rather a set of students who are coming through the CIMA general route. These type of students are extremely conversant with the syllabus content because they have passed E1, F1 and P1 related syllabus areas. They have passed their OTQ exams. So these students would find it extremely easy when it comes to providing high quality answers at the operational case study examination. And there are another set of students coming through an exemption route, which is known as the FLP route or the Finance Leadership Program. And if you're coming through the FLP route, you have not completed your E1, P1, and F1 related OTQs. Instead, you have gotten exemptions. So you might find it a bit tricky, this examination, because mostly the OCS exam is, OCS exam covers P1 and F1 related syllabus content. So these are highly technical areas. There's a lot of theory to be covered. So in such a context, those of you who are coming through an exemption route, such as the FLP route, might find the OCS exam to be a bit tricky, but there's absolutely nothing to worry. We have taken all measures to ensure that even students who are coming through the exemption route are conversant about the theoretical content which are tested in your real exam. I'll be talking about these things later as to what FLP students need to do in addition to what a normal student who comes via the CIMA general route. Okay, so then looking at the exam, this is a PC-based exam. The time allocation is 3 hours, and you'd see 4 main tasks within your paper, and each task carries a time allocation of 45 minutes. So once the first 45 minutes are done, you can't go back to the task again. The answer screen locks out, then you'd be redirected to the second task. So you can't skip back to the tasks and work on your answers. Instead, you'll be allocated 45 minutes. Within the first 45 minutes, you need to handle task number 1 fully. Then you would be directed to task number 2 and likewise. So each task carries a time allocation of 45 minutes, and the pass mark is 80 out of 150 or 54%. Then looking at the exam, information is provided about a fictitious company in advance via a Preseen document. So if you had done the OCS exam before, then you be extremely conversant with what a Preseen document is about. So the CIMA examiner gives you a Preseen or a document which consists of information about a fictitious company, and based on this fictitious company only, your knowledge pertaining to the theoretical elements will be tested. So within the Preseen, you'd find an introduction about the company. In the introduction, the examiner will give you some hints about or information about what has happened within the company in the past, the history of the company, the type of leadership within the company, number of employees, what type of operations they are involved with. All this information will be provided. Then the examiner will also provide information about the internal dynamics, what happens within different types of departments within the organization, what type of employees are there, and what these employees are up to, and what type of products or services the company sells. All these type of relevant information will be provided. And later on, at the very end of your Preseen, financial statements will be provided, so that and the CIMA examiner expects you to go through these financial statements and have a general level of understanding about the financial performance or the financial position of the company. Okay, so by going through this Preseen document, you are in a position to figure out the internal dynamics or what has happened in the past within the organization. Okay, and in the exam, you are required to address issues or questions relating to the operations of the company. Okay, And when answering these, questions or issues highlighted, you are supposed to utilize your knowledge about the company as well as the industry. Information pertinent to the company and the industry will be provided in the pre-scene. So once you go through the pre-scene document, you are in a position to have a general level of understanding about what happens within the company as well as what type of an industry they operate in. So you need to be conversant about these areas. And on top of that, when providing answers, you need to make sure that show to the examiner that you have knowledge pertaining to E1, P1 and F1 related syllabus areas. And as I highlighted earlier, a high level of prominence is provided to P1 and F1 related areas. So E1 is not really tested, only 10 to 20% of prominence is provided for E1, because it has all it has everything to do with decision making. And at this stage, you are not supposed to arrive at decisions, you are not supposed to be involved with decision making. Instead, the examiner is trying to figure out whether you have enough knowledge about operations of a company. So in such a context, P1 and F1 will be heavily tested. So first things first, what you need to do is you need to go through the pre-scene document. We have made your life easier because we at TCS, we provide something called an annotated pre-scene. I'll take you through the annotated pre-scene later on. But if you go through the annotations which we have prepared, then that's everything which you need to remember. You need not remember the entire pre-scene document. And on top of that, if you attempt the 5 mock exams which we have prepared, you would be covering all theoretical elements or theoretical areas pertaining to E1, P1 and F1 related syllabus content. Okay, so that's how your knowledge is tested. And let's try to figure out what type of a role you are supposed to play. You are supposed to play the role of a finance officer when providing answers. So the CIMA examiner is trying to create or replicate a real life corporate environment. So in a in a real life corporate environment, what happens is those who are at the lowest level of the organization or the employees at the operational level are involved with the day-to-day running of the company, day-to-day running of the business. Okay, so you as a finance officer is involved with day-to-day running of the business. So that's exactly why I said P1 and F1 related areas are heavily tested, because you will be involved with budgeting, costing, variance analysis, performance evaluation, recommending KPIs, F1 related areas pertaining to IAS 16, IFRS 7, all these things, all these theoretical knowledge will be tested. Why? Because you are involved with the day-to-day running of the company. And as a finance officer, you are supposed to have a moderate level of application and practical thinking at this level. Okay, as an employee who is involved with the daily running of the business, you are not supposed to be involved with decision making. That's the job of people or employees at the management level and the strategic level. So since you are at the operational level, you are not really involved with decision making. Instead, you are supposed to assist decision makers. So you'd see questions where your finance manager asks you a question about IAS 16 property, plant and equipment, and as the finance officer, you are supposed to reiterate what appears on IAS 16 property, plant and equipment. So when you are reiterating the information pertaining to IAS 16, you have to always relate to the information provided in the question. You'd understand how to do these things once you start attempting mock exams. And in the second webinar, answering technique, I'll be taking you through an answer and I'll be highlighting what you need to do when it comes to developing or structuring your answer. Then you'd understand what I'm talking about. Okay. And at this stage, at the operational level, as I highlighted earlier, theories are heavily tested. And on the other hand, when it comes to practical decision making, it's extremely limited. Instead, you are supposed to assist decision makers within the organization. You are not supposed to come up with your own decisions. So theories are heavily tested, so you really need to be conversant with P1 and F1 related syllabus areas. All right. So then let's look at the to-do list, what you are supposed to do when preparing for your exam. And you are supposed to do all these things within 6 weeks. So first things first, you need to read the annotated Preseen. Then you are in a position to really understand the content provided in the Preseen document. Then you'd understand what the company is up to, what type of an industry it is in, operating in, and on top of that, the financial performance of the company. So you're supposed to read the annotated Preseen, and on top of that, watch the 4 Preseen analysis videos which we have prepared. So in these 4 videos, I'll be taking you through the introduction of the company. I'll be conducting an industry analysis. I'll be highlighting the company operations, as well as at the very end, taking you through the financial statements of the company, thereby conducting a financial analysis. So as I highlighted earlier, after you read the annotated Preseen, you are supposed to go through these 4 videos. Once you do this, you would have enough and more knowledge about the Preseen document. And in order to make your lives easier, we have prepared TikTok videos. You can find these things on our social media, and on top of that, after this webinar, I'll be sharing these TikTok videos with you. And once you go through these TikTok videos, 3 videos in total, within something like 7 to 9 minutes, you can go through the main points highlighted within the Preseen. So you need not really study the Preseen document. Instead, after going through these 3 videos, which just takes 7 to 9 minutes, on a daily basis, you can remind yourself about the main points which are highlighted in the Preseen. So you need not study anything. Just read the annotated Preseen, go through the 4 Preseen analysis videos, and on a daily basis, watch the 3 TikTok videos. Then you'd know everything about the company. And you are supposed to watch 3 video lectures where I'm explaining the answers pertaining to mocks 3, 4, and 5. And whilst I'm explaining these answers, I'm covering theory as well. So what I would do is, I would based on an answer plan, I will explain the answer at the same time teaching you theory. So if you are, especially if you're coming through an exemption route such as the FLP route, you'd find this to be extremely beneficial, because since you are not too conversant with theoretical elements, it's better to learn theory through questions. Then you'd know how to bring in theoretical knowledge into answers, and how to improve your answers, or how to improve the quality of your answers. So you can achieve this by watching the 3 video lectures. That's one of the things which you need to complete. And you are supposed to attend all webinars, and if you miss out on any of the webinars, you can watch the recorded versions, because in these webinars we are talking about the technicalities which you need to get right if you are to pass your exam. And you are supposed to refer to slides as well, industry analysis, financial analysis, top 10 issues, as well as theory recaps pertaining to E1, F1, and P1. If you even if you are a student coming through the CIMA general route, if you want to brush up your knowledge about theoretical elements, then these theory recaps would be extremely beneficial for you. You need not refer back to your textbooks and whatnot. Simply going through these theory recaps, you are in a position to understand and learn theory. And the most important thing to do is, you even if you do all these things, if you do not practice at least 5 exam standard mock exams, your chances of passing the exam is extremely low. Why am I saying this? Because I've seen students practicing just 1 or 2 mocks before the exam. You can't cover the entire syllabus in within 1 or 2 mocks. You need to do 5 mock exams, and we at TCS, we have prepared 5 mock exams covering all syllabus areas. So by attempting mock exams, you are in a position, you are covering the entire CIMA syllabus pertaining to the operational level. And on top of that, you are practicing for the exam. You can't simply, just because you are really conversant with theoretical knowledge, or since you are really conversant with the information which appeared in the Preseen document, you cannot pass the exam. You have to at all times practice mock exams, practice 5 mock exams before you go to your exam. So that's what you're supposed to do. And on top of that, you are supposed to develop answer plans based on suggested answers for mocks 1 and 2. Why just mocks 1 and 2? Because we have prepared answer plans for mocks 3, 4, and 5. So in order to practice your answer planning technique, you are supposed to develop answer plans for mocks 1 and 2. And I'll be highlighting how to develop answer plans in our next webinar. So these are the stuff which you're supposed to do before you face the examination. All right, then taking you through the important dates, the exam entries are closing on the 24th of January 2023. So if you are to take up the exam in Feb, then you need to book your exam before the 24th of January. And the exam dates are from the 8th to the 10th of February 2023. All right. Okay, so we are moving on to the second part of tonight's webinar. And as I highlighted earlier, I'll be taking you through a 6-week study plan. And it's of utmost importance that you stick to this study plan, because if you do, then your life becomes extremely easier. Because what I've seen is, most students, they start preparing 2 weeks or a week before the exam. So when you are trying to cram a lot of information, when you are trying to attempt mock exams, and on top of that, doing up your answer plans, referring to theory recaps and whatnot, you won't have enough time. And if you try to rush too much, then stress would set in. And stressful students rarely pass the exam. You won't be able to plan your answers appropriately. You won't be able to manage your time, because if you panic, then that's the end of it. You can't pass the exam if you panic or if you're under a lot of stress. So there's absolutely no point of being stressed before the exam and during the exam. So it's better to stick to this best practice which we have prepared. Then you'd see that you need not work too much, too hard. You just need to stick to the study plan. Then you would be in a position to pass the exam comfortably. So let's look at what you're supposed to do in the first week. The first week starts from tomorrow, 31st of December to the 7th of Jan. Within the first week, you are supposed to read the annotated Preseen, watch the 4 Preseen analysis videos, refer to financial analysis slides, industry analysis slides, and top 10 issue slides, and refer to the OCS familiarization kit. Okay, so as you can see, in the first week, you don't have to do anything. Rather, you are simply supposed to watch certain videos, refer to slides, and read the annotated Preseen. So things are simple in the first week. And on the 7th of January, which is next Saturday, you are supposed to attend the second webinar, answering technique. So after that's done, in the second week, you are supposed to refer to the theory recaps pertaining to E1, F1, and P1. And then you have to start attempting mock exams. So within the second week, I'm requesting you guys to attempt 2 mock exams. Okay, mocks 1 and 2. And when attempting mock exams, please try to attempt mock exams under simulated exam conditions. So you have to replicate the exam conditions. As I highlighted earlier, the exam runs for 3 hours. So in such a context, you need to sit in one place, allocate 3 hours, and do a 3-hour paper, which consists of 4 tasks at a stretch. I've seen students doing a 3-hour paper. As I told you earlier, each task carries a time allocation of 45 minutes. So I've seen students doing just task 1 today and trying to do task 2 tomorrow, and maybe planning to attempt task 3 day after tomorrow. That's not going to help you, because at the exam you are not just spending 45 minutes and taking a break. You are attempting the entire paper 3 hours at a stretch. So you need to be accustomed with exam conditions, or else you won't be able to handle exam stress. Okay, so that's why I want you to, when attempting your mock exams, attempt mock exams under simulated exam conditions. So in order to make your life easier, we have prepared our own exam platform. So you can, when attempting your mock exams, you can simply attempt all 5 mock exams under exam conditions via the exam platform which we have created. Okay, and this exam platform is prepared akin to the Pearson VUE system you'd see in the real exam. So before the real exam, you are getting your bearings with the exam platform as well as exam conditions. So that's going to be extremely beneficial for you when preparing for the exam. So in week number 2, you are supposed to attempt mock number 1. And after you attempt mock number 1, you are supposed to develop answer plans based on the suggested answers of mock number 1. So this is an important element of your preparation process as well. Why? Because closer to the exam, rather than going through pages and pages of suggested answers, it's better to have a short note or an answer plan. So in 2 or 3 pages, you'd have the entire answer for one single mock exam. So right after attempting a mock, mock number 1, you are supposed to develop the answer plans based on suggested answers of mock number 1. Then within the second week itself, you are supposed to attempt mock number 2 and develop answer plans for mock number 2 as well. So this is going to be your busiest week, the second week, which is from the 8th Jan to the 14th Jan. Then things become easy after the third week. From the 15th Jan to the 21st of Jan, you are supposed to attempt mock 3 under simulated exam conditions. And since we have prepared, since TCS has already prepared the answer plans for mock 3, 4, and 5, you are not supposed to develop answer plans. You are not supposed to waste time in doing that. We have done it for you. So that makes your life easier. And after attempting mock number 3, refer to personalized tutor feedback for mock 3. So we provide the personalized tutor feedback. I will be providing tutor feedback to you guys. So after attempting it, within 48 hours, you will be receiving the feedback, tutor feedback. I'll be taking you through a tutor feedback to show you what type of feedback you would get. Okay. And after going through the tutor feedback, you are supposed to watch the video lecture pertaining to mock 3, where I'll be taking you through the answers pertaining to mock number 3. And when explaining these answers, I'll be covering theory or theoretical elements as well. I'll be teaching theory as well. Okay. So that's what you're supposed to do in week number 3. So as you can see, you are simply supposed to allocate 3 hours of your time and attempt mock number 3. Other than that, everything else is about watching videos and referring to the feedback. And the same applies to the the fourth week as well. In the fourth week, you are supposed to attempt mock number 4 and refer to personalized tutor feedback and watch the video lecture, which is based on the answers of mock number 4. And the same happens in mock week number 5 as well. And in the 6th week, which is from the 5th February leading up to your examination date, you are supposed to refer to study materials such as financial and industry analysis slides and top 10 issues, so that you refresh your memory about the financial position of the company as well as the industry dynamics. Okay. And you are supposed to refer to the answer plans of all 5 mocks. So this is exactly why I asked you to develop answer plans based on mocks 1 and 2 prior to within week 2 itself. So you had already done it, and we have prepared answer plans for mocks 3, 4, and 5. So by the 6th week, you would have 5 answer plans at your disposal pertaining to the 5 mock exams. So rather than, as I told you earlier, rather than going through pages and pages of suggested answers, when you look at the answer plan, you would see the entire answer as a summary. Then studying becomes easier. And on top of that, you can clearly see the answer structure. You can clearly see what the requirement is, what the highlighted requirement is. And on top of that, what type of an answer we have provided in the suggested answer. So you can see the structure of the answer. The entire answer is in a concise manner. So it's easier for you to learn through the answer plan which we have provided. Okay, so that's what you're supposed to do. And read the annotated Preseen one last time, and watch the recorded video of OCS webinar 3 exam preparation, because as I told you earlier, in webinar number 3, I'll be talking about what you need to do to maintain a positive attitude or a higher level of confidence at your exam. So it's better to remind yourself about what you need to do on the day of the exam, and stop all work a day prior to the exam. Sleep, eat, and rest well. You might think that I'm crazy to I'm crazy for you for to ask you to do this. Actually speaking, it's better to relax your mind a day before the exam. Why? Because the examiner is trying to recreate a real life corporate environment. So in a real life corporate environment, if you are to think straight, it's better to be relaxed. Let's assume that you are walking into office on a Monday, and the previous day you were drunk and partying. On Sunday you were drunk and partying, you didn't sleep properly, and early in the morning when you wake up and when you have to go to office, you are not in a position to function properly. You are not in a position to carry out your responsibilities properly. You are not in a position to think straight. So since the examiner wants to replicate a real life corporate environment, it's better to walk into the exam with a clear head. That's exactly why I want you guys to take or stop all work a day prior to the exam. So if your exam is on the 8th of February, then you have to stop all your work by the 6th of February. On the 7th, you eat well, rest, and sleep well. And on the 8th, you are supposed to walk into the exam. Okay, so just stick to these activities which we have highlighted. Actually speaking, what you're supposed to do is you are simply supposed to attempt 5 mock exams under exam conditions. That's about allocating 3 hours per week. Other than that, everything else is done for you. Everything else can be found on our website. So you are simply supposed to attempt 5 mock exams. Everything else is done. All the videos are there. All the study material are there. Even the answer plans we have prepared for you. So why have we done all these things? To make sure that you need not spend too much time when it comes to preparations. Instead, you are supposed to allocate or find time to attempt mock exams. So on a weekly basis, when attempting mock exams, you can leave out Monday because Mondays are usually hectic. So let's assume you attempt mock number 3 on a Tuesday. So you attempt mock number 3 on Tuesday. Within 48 hours, you'd get feedback for your answer script. So if you do it on Tuesday, by Thursday, you'd get feedback. Then you'd know where you stand as a student. And then on Friday, what you can do is, or on Thursday itself, what you can do is you can go through the answer plan and see where you had gone wrong. Okay, you can compare your answer to the answer plan which we have prepared. So by comparing the answer to the answer plan, again, you are learning through the process. So you are attempting the mock exam. So when you are attempting the mock exam, you are learning. And on top of that, after getting the feedback, after going through the feedback, you know where you had gone wrong. You are learning for the second time. And when you compare your answer to the answer plan which we have provided, again, you are learning through the process. So it's as if you are going through the same mock exam thrice. And on top of that, you have Saturday and Sunday to yourself. Maybe if you feel that you need to brush up your knowledge, or you need to improve your answer planning technique, if you feel that your typing speed is not up to standard or whatnot, you can utilize Saturday and Sunday to improve your shortcomings. Or else, if you had gotten really good feedback, you can relax during Saturday and Sunday. So most students struggle when it comes to a case study examination, because students try to do everything under the sun. You need not do that on a weekly basis. You just need to find 3 hours at a stretch and attempt your mock exam. Then everything else is done for you. Okay, so that's what you are supposed to do in the 6 weeks leading up to your exam. All right, so before I talk about what we offer at TCS, any questions, guys? So I've been talking for too long, I guess. Any questions? Any doubts about the study plan? If you have any questions, you can raise them now. You can simply switch on your mic and talk, or jot down your question in the chat section. All right, seems like there aren't any more questions. So I'm gonna talk about what we offer at TCS. So this is our web page, and I'm in the OCS page, as you can see. So we are offering 4 packages in total. The first package is known as the Essential Pack, which is priced at £99. This is comfortable. This is suitable for students who are comfortable with 100% self-learning. So if you had aced your OTQ exams, E1, P1, and F1, and if you are really comfortable with self-learning, then you can go for the Essential Pack. And if you purchase this package, you'd gain access to the recorded versions of the 4 webinars, 3 webinars actually, because we do 4 webinars for the session in November, which consists of a Preseen analysis webinar, but that is not done in February, because we are not redoing the Preseen analysis. Instead, since it's already there, it appears on our website, and you'd gain access to the 5 mock exams with suggested answers, full Preseen analysis videos, 4 videos in total, the annotated Preseen industry analysis slides, financial analysis slides, top 10 likely issues, and the case study familiarization kit. And this is priced at £99. And the second package is known as the value pack. So this is suitable for students who are looking for one-to-one tutor support and mentoring, and you'd gain access to all the packages or all the material which I highlighted earlier. And on top of that, you'd get access to the online mock exam platform. So rather than attempting all 5 mocks by your own, you can attempt all 5 mocks under real exam conditions via our online mock exam platform. Okay, and you'll be getting professional marking and one-to-one tutor feedback on 3 mocks 3, 4, and 5 to be precise. And you'd also gain access to theory recaps pertaining to E1, P1, and F1 related syllabus areas. And the package is priced at £199. And there's another package known as the Essential Plus package. So under the Essential Plus package, everything which is applicable to the Essential Pack is available. And on top of that, you'd get access to 6+ hours of video lectures, 12 video lectures in total, where I'll be taking you through the answers pertaining to mocks 3, 4, and 5. And via these videos, I'll be providing guidance on decrypting mocks and suggested answers as well. And this is recommended for students coming through the exemption route, or students who had failed the examination previously. So this is priced at £175. And the last package, or the total CIMA solution, is this, which is the Value Plus package. So everything which I highlighted under the value pack will be available. And on top of that, you'd gain access to the 12 videos which I was talking about. And this is extremely beneficial for students coming through the exemption route, FLP route, because as I highlighted earlier, it's better to brush up your theory. So by going through these 12 video lectures, you'd learn theory and you'd improve your application skills as well. You'd know how to apply theory in your answers. And on top of that, if you had failed the exam previously, then you should go for the value plus package, because then through these 12 videos you'd know how to apply your theoretical knowledge, and on top of that you can gain access to one-to-one tutor feedback. Then you are in a position to figure out what's actually wrong with your answers, and what you need to do to improve the quality of your answers. All right, so let me take you through some of the material which we provide. So this is the annotated Preseen. So as you can see, this is the normal Preseen which CIMA provides, but I've made annotations highlighting the most important points, so that when it comes to revision, your life becomes easier, because all the important points have been summarized in here. And on top of that, I've also when coming up with these annotations, I've also mentioned the type of theoretical elements which can be tested, or the theoretical areas which can be tested. So all these things are there under the annotated Preseen. And we provide a set of industry analysis slides as well. So these industry analysis slides are prepared considering the real life dynamics of the industry which is highlighted in the Preseen, and that's exactly what you can see in here. Industry trends and whatnot. It's better to understand the industry trends, because these things appear in the exam questions. And on top of that, real world examples are provided. 2 real world examples are provided based on 2 real life companies. Why? Because by going through this information, you are in a position to better understand the industry dynamics. That's going to be extremely beneficial for you at the real exam. And these are the financial analysis slides. So I've conducted an evaluation based on the SOPL, SOFP, and the statement of cash flows. So as you can see, all the information is provided in a summarized format, so that you can easily go through them and understand about the financial performance. And a ratio analysis is conducted, and all different types of ratios are explained in a concise yet an understandable manner, so that you can easily remember the financial nitty-gritties of the company. And let me take you through the tutor feedback which we provide. As you can see, for each and every answer, I have provided a feedback. Okay, so if you opt for the value pack or the value plus package, you would get this type of feedback. This is comprehensive feedback, and on top of that, at the very end, mark allocations are provided for each and every subtask, so that you can see where you stand and what type of in which areas you need to improve your answers. And at the very end, general comments are provided as well, with regards to which gives an general overview about the quality of your answers and what you need to do to further improve your answers. So that's what we offer. All right, then any questions? We are at the very end of tonight's session. Any questions before we wind up? All right, seems like there aren't any more questions. So if you want to contact us, you can reach us via our website, which is www.study@tcs.com, or simply drop us an email, or you can WhatsApp us as well. And I invite you guys to follow us on our social media handles, especially go through the blog post, so that you can understand, you can go through the technical nitty-gritties pertaining to the exam, and what you need to do or what you need to get right, or what you need to avoid when preparing for the upcoming examination. All right, concluding thoughts, approach OCS as an opportunity to learn rather than an exam to pass. And thank you very much for joining in. I will hopefully see you guys on Saturday. Next Saturday's webinar is going to be an extremely important one, where I'll be highlighting about what you need to do when it comes to developing your answers, what you need to do to manage your time. So I hope you guys would attend the second webinar as well. Thank you very much and good night.